I'm just speaking in order to inform people that I'm doing much better since those vlogs I made in the winter and spring of 2022. Not even anyone really watched them, so they're really more for myself. And yeah, they're more for myself. And what's happened, okay, here's what I'm trying to say. This is when someone's in more of their CPTSD, dissociative brain fog state. It's harder to articulate and express, and my vocabulary is actually pretty good, and so is my ability to express. Anyway, um, what's happening is that I've always wanted to have a channel for this channel to be an intersection point for the world of mental health, especially like trauma, somatic experiencing, parts work, nervous system regulation, uh, codependency, these sort of things, with the world of sort of ecology and nature in both of its sides, both in its more rational, practical side, like I want to learn to make an organic garden so I can survive, or I want to learn to regenerate an ecosystem so that it can be well, and I'm going to learn biology and ecology so I can do that, as well as the sort of animist pagan movement that has this sort of Rilke poetic admiring, praising feeling towards life, and feeling like we're a part of nature, and feeling that the Mother Earth is alive and conscious and feeling us, and that yes, there is intelligence in the mycelium, and there is intelligence in plants, and probably more than we expect and more than we can currently understand, and they are wise in their own way if we just learn to listen. And it is not their lack of ability to communicate with us, but our lack of ability to listen and understand how they communicate. That is what keeps us apart and keeps us in this delirium thinking that they are inert objects that just like self-replicate based on DNA and biology, which they miraculously do, but there's so much more than that. And so my brother has teamed up with me on this YouTube channel. Another aspect of it is just talking about the forest gardening we're doing and sharing the forest gardening. And then the other aspect is this liveo game idea. I want to keep sharing that. A real life liveo game where you get to live a hero's journey a la DreamWorks, Pixar, Cartoon Saloon, Studio Ghibli, Breath of the Wild, Zelda, Mario, video game. You are the hero and you're using your body to get through obstacles, but also discover who you really are and encounter yourself through this adventurous experience, which is inspired by movies, video games, myths, and fables, as well as ecology, and which uses land art and adventure park and puzzles and artisanship to create these magical experiences. And so working on that, want to share that. And so yes, I just want to make this video to say that if anyone actually is interested in a vlog that's sort of like what it's like to start up a regenerative project while recovering from CPTSD, and what it's like, especially in like a weird, difficult family situation, I would be happy to. I've thought of continuing to write and just blogging it and having that as something that can be read, and then dedicating our YouTube editing time to kind of more adventurous approaches, like actually filming a sort of play video game in the forest, or the little moments of beauty and dedication to beauty that happen here, or what we're working on physically and how we're doing it, and explaining the techniques and the techniques of how we're doing things. There's the wind. The wind. There's the wind. It's gonna rain. The springs are gonna come back. We haven't had water for the first time in the history of Galicia, where I live. Like certain springs that we have dried up because it was so hot and dry this summer. Climate change. So yeah, So basically, I'm here. I'm going to be working on other things. But I wanted to leave the vlog up there so that if someday this is like a world-changing project, like people are, the way people do escape rooms now, or go to the arcade, or go paintball, they go and they do a liveo game, and they're doing that. They can remember that it came from this fucked up, broken, dissociated, foggy-minded, low self-esteem, muscle tension riddled human being, nature being, who really wanted to make something to help people have fun, learn who they really are, increase their social intelligence, increase their emotional intelligence, face fears, and experiment with new types of cultures that are more open-hearted and more aligned with Mother Earth, nature. Aho, aho, creator, creator. I really hope it doesn't trigger anyone if I joke and say aho, creator. I don't mean it to be cultural appropriation. I watched Res Dogs, and just the energy and spirit of how those characters say that, like the joy, you know. Obviously, I was raised Catholic. Saying thank you, God, doesn't feel good. Christianity doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel nice. It hasn't been nice to the human heart. It hasn't been nice to people. It hasn't been nice. I am sure, like, I can understand, obviously, that some people feel connected to their whatever church they participate in. But my personal journey with Christianity, and especially Catholicism, is that it's just toxic and unnecessary and misled and dogmatic and patriarchal and imposing and controlling and very black and white, and you don't need the church for a religious experience, nor is it an accurate reflection of what the divine is. For me, the divine is outdoors and green and feminine, and not some dude in the sky who gets mad and then sent his son to die on a fucking cross and have his message completely fucked up anyway. So this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. I live in a forest now, and yeah, I just want this as a record of like showing people that you can be fucked up and feel hopeless and go days and days on end without really feeling connected to anything or anyone, and feel scared and lost and pressured to be successful, and you're not successful and you have nothing and you're broke. But the ground is always underneath you. And while the ground is underneath you, you're okay. But it takes a long time to relearn that, because we've been forgetting it for thousands of years, and we've been raised not to believe it. So when you feel despair, I do not judge you. When you feel like life sucks, I do not judge you. When you feel hatred, I do not judge you. Just want to say it for a little bit of hope. Like, when you go to therapy for a while, when you learn to be in the present after a while, just laying on the ground can feel pretty nice. So yeah, thanks guys. See ya.